So you're about to see Democratic Representative Brad Schneider, he's from Illinois, and Elizabeth Warren here. They're going to demonstrate perfectly how I fear this impeachment inquiry can backfire on the Democrats, because they really don't have good answers for very simple questions.
I do want to ask you, though, Congressman, about the underlying accusation. Hunter Biden was paid $50,000 a month while his father was vice president of the United States to sit on the board of a Ukrainian energy company, despite having no expertise in that whatsoever. Do you think that that is evidence of corruption?
So all of this has been discussed in the press, and Ukraine has said there was no substance to that. The president has historically long been involved with conspiracy theories. This is yet another conspiracy theory.
But
we can't lose sight of this simple fact.
We know that Hunter Biden did, in fact, earn $50,000 on this board. That's not a conspiracy theory. We know that he has little to no expertise in Ukrainian energy sector. So is that unseemly? Is that the type of thing that we should be accepting from a prominent Democrat?
Again, that's a separate issue. There is no question that what the president is trying to do is to pressure an ally, a key strategic ally facing a dire threat from Russian troops, not just on their border, but in their territory, and putting U.S. interests at risk by withholding necessary military aid. Again, this puts at risk our national security.
Yeah,
so
I think we understand your position. I think we understand your position quite clearly. Let's make it a future event. If a Democrat wins the White House, should their vice president have a child who serves? Should they be allowed to have a child who serves on a foreign energy company's board with interests in the United States?
We can talk about what people should be allowed to invest in, what jobs they should be allowed to take. That's, again, a different issue. I know here in Congress we are required to file full disclosures of our financial positions, of any other positions we've had. I believe in transparency. I believe the American people have a right to understand that. But don't get lost in the discussion the fact that the President of the United States has abused the power of his office and put national interests ahead of, or personal interests ahead of our national interest, risking our national security. That's my focus. That's what I want to hold this president to account, and that's what I believe this impeachment inquiry should focus upon.
Plans. Could you say whether or not under a Warren administration would your vice president's child be allowed to serve on a board of a foreign company?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at the details on
Do you
the
think
plan.
there could be a problem with that?
I have to go back and look.
You know what? Everybody who's rah-rahing impeachment over this narrow issue of the Ukraine phone call, they should all have to answer this question. And they should all have to be able to tell you how they think impeachment's going to end and what'll happen in the House and what'll happen in the Senate. They should all have to answer those questions if they're going to be out there rah-rahing impeachment. Because what I've seen, which is absolutely stunning to me, is that everybody's talking about this issue. I haven't seen a single person say, and by the way, here are the potential ways it unfolds. I'm the only one who's giving you guys, hey, here are all the options, all the ways it'll unfold. There's like 3 or 4 different scenarios of how it could go down. Here's all of them. And here's what I think is going to happen. Here's what's totally unlikely to happen. Here's what's definitely not happening. So it's frustrating to me that we're watching that, because why is there this collective delusion where everybody's pretending like there's no counter argument to what the Democrats are saying? Yeah, we all agree it was messed up for the president to try to pressure a foreign country to give dirt on the Bidens. We all agree that's messed up. Do we also agree that Joe Biden's son shouldn't have been making $50,000 a pop from the Ukrainian energy sector when he was vice president? Do we agree that other Biden relatives shouldn't set up jobs as lobbyists and have interests that overlap with his committee hearings? Do we also agree that as Biden oversaw the occupation of Iraq, he shouldn't have family members making money from the military-industrial complex? Do we all agree to that too? I can tell you very clearly, I agree. Those things shouldn't be allowed either. Those things are corruption. But what you see now, because they have no out. This is just like Clinton Foundation denialism 2.0, because Clinton Foundation, the Democrats were forced to argue like, there's nothing wrong with Bill Clinton making millions of dollars giving speeches to Gulf theocratic dictators and then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton giving them massive weapons deals. There's no problem with that at all. They're forced to make these ridiculous arguments to play for the team, and look at the result. Tell me that's not embarrassing, those clips you just saw. Hey, Elizabeth Warren, is it okay for the son of a vice president to make $50,000 on the board of a foreign energy company? No. But I don't know. I have to check my plans. Are you kidding me? The other guy was even more pathetic than Elizabeth Warren. Well, I think the president, he's using his power, and this is a separate question, what you're asking me. In order to defend Biden, they're forcing themselves to not just be like, yeah, he shouldn't do that, that's messed up, and that is corruption. And that's why this is a weak-ass argument coming from the Democrats, and I think in the long run, it'll implode on itself. And it's just really frustrating that nobody else is even entertaining this idea. Nobody's even entertaining it. The idea, like, hey, what if this backfires massively? I saw there's articles now where people are scrambling to try to take credit for impeachment, and they have these former CIA people who are now congresswomen, and like 5 of them are taking credit. First of all, it wasn't you. Fall back. It was Al Green, it was Maxine Waters, it was Rashida Tlaib. They were the first ones to this. But either way, nobody's really taking credit because at some point it's going to turn to blame when it all backfires. And when it 100% fails in the Senate, if it even gets to the Senate, it might fail in the House. So it's embarrassing to watch this. These guys, they ran 2 yards and they're spiking the football and they're not even anywhere near the end zone. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then under the tiniest pushback, guys, it's not even like Crystal Ball and Sagar are not like, trying to ask a hard question there. They're just asking a fair, reasonable question. And it comes across like a gotcha because they don't know how to answer. They don't know how to just be like, yeah, I think that's corruption too, because Democrat good, Republican bad, Biden good, Trump bad. This isn't going to backfire. Oh, yeah? Well, what about that argument being screamed through a megaphone for 3 months straight? Then what? Then what happens? Is it still going to hold at 55%, the impeachment numbers, if after a while the counter-argument seems a hell of a lot more loud and reasonable? I doubt it. But you're not allowed to say that. Because if you say that, I don't know, something, you're weak on Trump, even though the argument is, hey, what you're doing is probably going to help him, it's going to help him, makes it more likely he gets 4 more years. I want him out. I want him out. I don't want to, let's pause for you to get fucking virtue signaling points when you pretend like you're really anti-Trump as you do something that hurts him. That's fucking stupid. Can you think? Can you think? Can you use your brain a little bit? Hey, how will this unfold? Let's see. Is this a good move to actually reach the goal of getting him out? No, it's not, but it'll make me feel good because it feels like I'm being really anti-Trump, even though it'll probably help him. So, yeah, impeachment. Okay, well, what about what the dirt Trump was actually finding that that Biden's son was getting $50,000 from a Ukrainian energy firm? I don't even know. Joe Biden has a son? I don't even know he had a son, bro. What are you talking about, a son? You don't have money or something? They got nothing to say. What are they going to say? What are they going to say? That question makes them have to either say, that's totally fine, or just bullshit and dodge all day. Mrs. I have a plan for that. I have to check my plan to see if rank corruption is okay or not. This is the issue they picked. Just so you know. There was a line that they said, how dare he cross that line? Was that line killing a 9-year-old girl in his first military act, who's an American girl, by the way, in a botched raid? Nope. Was that line sanctioning medicine going into Iran, where people are now dying because they can't get their medicine, in violation of the International Court of Justice, the top UN court? Nope. Was that line blocking food from going into a starving country, Venezuela, as we pretend like we're so concerned for the citizens of Venezuela? Nope. Was that line backing a Saudi Arabian genocide and arming them, as he's also taking money personally through his hotel in D.C. from the Saudis? Nope. So what's the line? Oh, you asked for dirt on Hensley, Uncle Joseph? Oh, sir, that was so impolite and uncivil and norms violating. The norms! Oh, the norms, yes! The norms. Shove your norms up your ass. I don't give a shit about the norms. If you want to impeach him over the stuff that has a really strong argument and might work in the long run, by all means, I'm with you. You want to impeach him over genocide in Yemen and arming Saudi Arabia and vetoing a war powers resolution so we stop helping Saudi Arabia because he's taking money at his hotels? You want to impeach him over that? I have to support you if you do that because that argument might actually work and it might make the Democrats' numbers go up, the Republican numbers go down, and help us in 2020. But you're going to impeach him over protecting Joe Biden's honor when he doesn't have it, when his family is sold out, and you're going to pretend like he's not corrupt? Please. I can't, man. It's so frustrating. Look at the Republicans, say what you want about them, they'll get together and message and then they'll stick to it. Look at the lack of planning and organizing from Democrats here. Can you imagine Republicans giving that kind of an answer to that kind of a question? You can, because they'd have a stronger response that they all say like that. But you're asking a Democratic representative and a Democratic presidential candidate a very simple question about the Biden's corruption, and none of them have any idea what to say. You want to know why, guys? Because this isn't planned. The whole impeachment inquiry thing, if you're going to do it, you got to be planned. It's got to be a full court press. You got to do it right. But what are they doing? They have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing. And this is why I think it's going to help Trump, because they don't know what they're doing. They're just taking a shot in the dark. But it's okay. Let's pretend like there's no weaknesses in the plan and everything's hunky-dory and it'll all work out or something.